Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel and a brand new video. And yes, I know it has been a while since my last video, but I thought I'd show you guys what I've bought in the last month, or what has arrived in the last month. I've been a bit slow in terms of upcoming releases and new releases, but these two, some of the two that you'll see in the video, I had to snap up right away, and courtesy of the wrestling store, I snapped them away and they arrived just this week. So before we get to show you guys what I received, I just want to talk about the shocking news posted yesterday by Daniel B, a good friend Daniel B from WrestlingDVDnews.com. It seems as from 2022 there won't be any more WWE DVDs in the US. We don't really know, us Europeans, including myself and the UK, we don't know what's going to happen for us European fans, whether the Fremantle will continue like releasing stuff or not. We don't really know. All is up in the air right now. But all I can say is it is a very sad day. Once it gets to the final release, I'm pretty sure it's going to be very sad. I don't know if they're releasing stuff until the end of the year. I haven't really read everything in detail, but I do know that it's a sad day anyway. And they've been at it for 22 years. Some great releases, some not so great. But I mean, some of them have been incredible to purchase. Some of them even were day one purchases, and we couldn't. We pre-ordered them. I speak for myself anyway, that I pre-ordered so many of them. Not counting the UK European exclusives, I'm counting in general. There were so many that I wanted as soon as they came out. I mean, I was fortunate enough, me and my brother anyway, we were fortunate enough to live in a place where two of the stores that we used to buy our DVDs from, they would stock them in Region 1, so we would actually get them way in advance before they were released by Silvervision or Fremantle later. And one of them that comes to mind was Once in a Lifetime, The Rock versus John Cena DVD. I remember getting that like 2 weeks in advance. The proof is in the pudding. I remember I used to send a lot of pictures of the artwork to Wrestling DVD News, WWE DVD News then. And it was a fun ride. I remember like just picking them up and take pictures of the spine, the discs in place and everything else. It was a fun time, and it's a shame that now it's going to get to probably the last release, at least in the US. It only makes your collection, and I suppose my collection and everybody else's, it only makes it the more rare, more exclusive, I suppose, if they don't continue making more WWE DVDs. It's a shame. Let's just leave it at that. And I think we can probably talk more about this in depth. I mean, me and John Paul Clarkson, the 2004 Punk, and probably Beat Down Bunny, and maybe even Daniel could join us and talk about that journey as a whole. Because there was a time where it was very exciting to see what was going to get released. And obviously once they stopped making a lot of Superstar bios and everything else, and stuck strictly to pay-per-views, and the odd bio here and there, it was very sad. I mean, there's so many releases I was so excited for, and still to this day, you know. I mean, I remember being uber excited when I found out there was going to be an unreleased DVD, 86 to 95, and I remember once the match listing was revealed by Wrestling DVD News, my brother didn't want to know, but at the end of the day, he caved, and I just remember reading everything that was going to be there, and he's like, you know what, we have to get that straight away. So once we saw that it was available for pre-order, we pre-ordered it, and Bob's your uncle. It arrived in a matter of weeks once it was released. But I mean, some of them have been worth the wait. I mean, I remember, obviously, due to the fact that I was unemployed for a while, I missed out on so many releases. Maybe not that I missed out on them, but I didn't get them straight away. I would get them a lot later. But it was always worth the wait, you know. I mean, I think we were, at least in UK and Europe, Europe in general, I think we've been very lucky with the releases that we've had. Many exclusives, tag classics come to mind, even pay-per-views, such as Payback. I mean, last year's Payback was not released in the US, but it was released for us. I remember, I believe, DVD Freak posted on this. Evolution 2019, or 2018 rather, was very rare in the US, but it's not been so difficult to obtain here in Europe. So it is what it is, you know. I mean, the rise and the price of the DVDs is only just going to go up if they stop making them in Europe as well. But there's so many releases there, and it's a shame. I was very, very shocked when I read the news, and I'm hoping that WWE could reconsider, but I don't think they will. I understand, like it's like everybody says, and everybody's always said since the network launched in 2014. Yeah, everything's on the network, and totally understood. Pay-per-views. There is some Colosseum videos on there, some WWE home videos as well, but not everything is on there. And I don't think you can beat the fact that you could actually pick up. I'll just give you an example. To pick up something as simple as, I don't know, Hell Yeah, which is one of the first releases, to go to your shelf and pick it up, put the disc in, and just watch it. You have it in your collection, and it's yours for forever. Nothing can beat that. I mean, I remember, I think it was this thing Into the Light when that came out. I was very excited for that, and I was dying to get it. I'm a huge Sting fan, so I pre-ordered it from Amazon like I used to do. I still pre-order them from Amazon, not as much anymore, but because it's so cheap anyway when you buy them. But I remember just being very surprised, as to how much I wanted it and how many people wanted it as well. But stuff like even Shawn Michaels' My Journey has been great. The Bret Hart DVD, when that came out in 2005, or rather when that was announced, that was such a big deal. The rise and fall of ECW. I mean, I could speak of so many. Those are in my top 3 right now. I mean, I could make a top 10. Eventually, once they cease production, I will jump into making maybe my top 10 favorite WWE DVDs. There's so many. But I mean, you've already got a little spoiler that those 3 are definitely going to be in my top 10. I still can't decide what my number 1 is, but I mean, there's just been so many great releases. There've been so much. They've been always worth the wait, just the anticipation of receiving it in the mail and just dedicating an entire evening or even an afternoon or days off work into watching maybe just one of such a DVD. I did that with the Eddie Guerrero, the last Eddie Guerrero DVD, the Viva la Raza, the legacy of Eddie Guerrero. Obviously in Europe we got the tribute shows as an exclusive, and I know in the US they've been very hard to find, or they were very hard to find. I don't know how hard it is now. But it's stuff like that, I mean, just to have a collection of matches on your favorite wrestler, not just your favorite wrestler, your favorite stable. The Shield ones are very good. I mean, even the one that they released later has been very fun to watch. But I mean, so many others of the Paul Heyman DVD, and I could go on forever, pretty much. That's all I gotta say. I mean, I will love to dive into more eventually. And once I dive into it, I'll probably get carried away. I could make an entire podcast just talking about how exciting it was when they first got released on DVD. I mean, I've been collecting for 20 years now, and if it does get to the point where it's and they actually stop making them in Europe as well, it's going to be a sad day for all of us. I mean, I just can't believe it. It's one of those things. I mean, I understand it. I don't. I mean, what can I say? What can I say? But yeah, I mean, that's all really I got to say. I mean, I've been on for 8 minutes already, almost 9, just rambling on about this news, and I don't know what's going to happen to collections. I mean, now I dare say collections are going to be, I pretty much either people will sell them on. I don't know, people will treasure them more. I really hope it's the latter. I hope people treasure the collections more. I mean, I always said it at the beginning, even with or without a WWE network, nobody would be able to say, sell your collection. There's no way. Because there's been so many great releases. It's not just even about having so many great releases on your shelves rather. It's the question of just having that at your disposal, and you treasure that. If you ever want to go back to watching something like Hulk Hogan The Ultimate Anthology, or unreleased matches, Hulk Hogan's unreleased matches, or anything, even the Ric Flair DVD, the first one that came out in 2003. I mean, there's so many great stuff on there, and so many great stuff has been released. Then eventually WWE became very lazy with what they released and what they didn't release. I understand they're very protective of what they have and at their disposal, especially in the libraries. I mean, the quality, you always want to see stuff like Superstars 92, for example. You always want to see that in the best of quality. And unfortunately, like, we've never seen like season sets of their programming. It would be great if they did that, and I don't see that happening anymore. But I mean, it's that sort of thing, you know. I mean, it's a shame because they put so much effort into them. I mean, there was so many great extras and so many of those sets as well, especially the WrestleMania 21. I could go on forever. I really could go on forever, just talking about pretty much what WWE Home Video has given back, and not just to me, but to many fans and collectors out there. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys what I've picked up, and this is something that there's only 4 of them. Obviously, you have to save up other priorities in life, but this is, at least to me, I'm very happy to have in my collection. So here we go. To start off, we're going to have the special collector's edition of the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. This is just an upgrade of the one that came out in 2008. It's got an extra disc and some great stuff, and there's some more stuff has been added to it. I mean, it's got the Rock John Cena match from WrestleMania 28 and then so on. But that's an exclusive, I mean, special collector's edition. Never thought they would re-release this again. I thought maybe they'd release the epic journey of Dwayne The Rock Johnson from 2012. A choice to release again, but it wasn't a bad duty for its time. I mean, it had some of The Rock's greatest matches. Only negative to this, and what I've been reading, is that it doesn't have the Attitude Era logo and everything else. It's all blurred on here, as opposed to when it happened with other releases that came out after 2008, where it didn't get blurred. This is just like it was in 2008. But most of the matches have been on other sets as well, but worth the wait, I'm sure. I mean, it says here, this package is packed with 4 discs. It fills with 23 amazing matches, and it's got a list of matches on the back. I don't know if you can make it out, but I'll read them to you anyway. It's got a great Intercontinental match versus Owen Hart. It's got the Last Man Standing match versus Mankind for the WWE title at St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Then it's got The Rock versus Austin, WrestleMania 15. Rock versus Triple H in a steel cage, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is whoever is going to watch this is from Rebellion 99. Rock versus and Mankind versus Undertaker and Big Show. I believe that's on SmackDown for the tag team titles. Undisputed title match between The Rock and Chris Jericho. I believe that's from Royal Rumble 2002. The Rock versus Hollywood Hogan from WrestleMania 18. Classic match. And like I mentioned before, it does have The Rock versus John Cena from WrestleMania 28 as well. Another one to add to the collection, at least the pay-per-view collection, is Extreme Rules 2021, which is actually a solid show, I must say. You know, really, really likes Roman versus Finn, even though we all knew that Roman was going to win. It's still pretty cool nonetheless to have it in the collection. Let's get them at the back there. Excuse me if I sound achy, but I've got a cold, so my voice might sound like Billy Corgan's right now. Or Billy Corgan's singing voice, anyway. Up next is All Out 2021. Probably next to Double or Nothing 2021, my favourite pay-per-view of the year, for obvious reasons. If you've watched the end, you probably know why. And the match card was excellent from start to finish. I mean, you got John Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima. The end of that match just made me uber excited. You got CM Punk versus Darby Allin, which was CM Punk's first match in a very long time, for 7 years almost. 7 years and a half, I believe. We got the final match between MJF and Chris Jericho. We got Miro versus Eddie Kingston for the TNT Championship, which was a great match in my opinion. You got the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers for the AEW World Tag Team titles, which was a great match as well. Probably one of my favourite matches of the year. You got Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, not Dr. Britt Baker, I would say, versus Chris Statlander, and of course you got Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the AEW World Championship, and a few others as well. You got Big Show, Paul White versus QT Marshall. But this was a great show all around, you know, from start to finish. Once I saw that this was going to be available to pre-order, I took the plunge and I did. I had to. It was a great show. Like I mentioned, next to Double or Nothing 2021, my favorite show of the year. And next is Slammiversary 2021, continuing on with the Impact Wrestling releases. I mean, I never thought I'd be collecting Impact Wrestling in this day and age, but I do feel that Impact is very, very, very underrated these days. They actually do have some solid wrestling week in, week out. I mean, my favorite match on the show is definitely the X Division ladder match. Really liked Deonna Purrazzo versus Thunder Rosa for the Knockouts Championship. But yeah, it was a good show all around. I mean, the crossover between AEW and Impact was pretty cool while it lasted. The Forbidden Door, like Tony Khan used to say. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Those are the 4 new additions to my collection. Like I said, it's a shame what's happened, and the news that Daniel posted yesterday on Wrestling DVD News and obviously on Wrestling DVD Room. It's just a sad day, and I wonder what's going to happen in Europe, and if it will be getting to the point where the Drew McIntyre release, which is due out on the 13th, is the final release. I mean, if that's the final release, so be it. If not, I mean, I'm not looking forward to picking up or receiving my last one. It'll be bittersweet. Let's just leave it at that. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll probably document more as to what's going to happen in the future. If for any updates on what's going to happen, whether it's in the UK or Europe, just speak to or stay tuned to WrestlingDVDnews.com. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. Take care, guys.